All right, for B34, there's only one version, and get into that. What happens in the track is kind of like the first song, where there's like two parts of the song. Where the first part, I don't want to call it an intro, but the first part is unique, so it has its own kind of beat, and then the song changes up and it starts flowing a little bit differently, and then that's when I changed the pattern up there. This doesn't really use any samples in the sense of creating the main melody. I did mostly synths with this, so trying to do all synths, trying to get more into composing, even though I really don't understand a whole lot about chords and how different chords work well together, whatever. I'm just using my ear. So for this track, I had a maelstrom in there that was being controlled by a matrix editor, and that's why you don't really see anything in the sequencer part. I had some samples in there, some for the percussions. So what happens there's just some different kind of percussion sounds to kind of add some rhythm to the track. So there's this one, and then this one. This drum and bass loop that comes with Reason. It's like 165 BPM, but I'm using it for this track, which is only 110, so it slows it down a whole lot. So with these two layered, this is kind of what you get. And that was a tip that I remember in some of the tutorials where it said, you try and use some drum patterns not to make the main, some drum loops, not necessarily make the main drum arrangement, but just to kind of add some color and stuff to your track. So what happens is I have these sounds going, and then I'll cut on the snare and kick so you can hear how those come in. So like I said, I had a bunch of different combinators, and you can hear all the different sounds. I was just experimenting, trying to get a little bit more into like sound engineering and creating a sound instead of just looking for samples. So this is actually the two different combinators that are actually the exact same preset sound set blistered. So layered, this is what this is. So you can hear some of the playback is even kind of sloppy, but you know, I was just messing around, so I didn't really get too precise or anal about arrangements and stuff. I was just basically going off of general sound. So this is how the whole thing sounds put together. You got the beginning part, and then it switches over into the rest of the regular beat. So there was actually three different. There was a beginning part sound a certain way, and then a middle part, and then the last part changes up just a little bit. And I get away from using those samples. So anyway, download the tracks, download the Reason Kit, play around in there, man. If you flip something out of it, email it to me. Let me know. I'll throw it up in the blog or whatever. I'm in this Red.com. Get at me, man.